It might give us a countdown, actually.
Shut up!
That's funny, though. That shit's
I
great.
know. It's going to be part of the show. There's nothing we can do.
Okay. Well, we're here. Welcome to Rocco and Primo Talk About Stuff. I am Rocco.
I'm Primo.
And Primo, what's going on today? What do you want to talk about? What stuff's on your mind?
Oh, man. That's such a loaded question. Like everything is. I don't know, man. Why don't you pick something?
Well, you're in a universe right now. So
Right now.
everyone
Yeah.
out there needs to know that Primo is literally in some undisclosed location. I thought he was in the United States of America. Evidently, tonight he's in the universe of somewhere. I don't know what
Yeah.
planet's behind you.
We're just rocketing through the universe, through the cosmos right now. Just.
Okay, so that's Earth behind you.
Like,
I can't really
yeah,
see.
look. That's me rocketing through the cosmos. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love it. And I just want to chat about something real quick. I mean, you're
Okay.
wearing a shirt that says Heathen.
Heathen. Yes.
Heathen.
Yes. I could be characterized, depending on who you talk to, as a heathen. I would fall under the definition. I guess we should be looking that up, right? The definition of heathen.
Well, I want to look up the definition of heathen, but like you are a rock star, okay? So I mean, I know that you're a little bit, you're a rocker. You come from
Right.
like I don't know, am I losing my mind here? But like old school rock and roll, like heavy metal.
Absolutely. 1970s,
Okay.
1980s, rock and roll. That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
That was the music. That was the soundtrack to my growing up. Yes, to my
And
formative years.
I'm 80s and 90s, so I
Yes.
appreciate that's really why I wore this shirt today. Like I recently went to
Yeah,
the
no,
Guns N'
absolutely.
Roses
Right.
concert.
That's it. That's bridging the gap right there. Bridging the gap
And let me
between the
tell
80s
you,
and the 90s.
his voice is struggling right now, but he's out there running around the
I
stage the
know,
same
man.
way
I
he
know a
did.
lot of it's I think this is a great thing to talk about, actually. It's really sad. It's really sad.
I
Like,
know.
first of all, I think a lot of times about that line from the Who song, "I hope I die before I get old." Okay. That's really, I think every rock and roller guy thought that. None of these dudes thought they were ever going to live this long, man. I don't think Mick Jagger and Keith Richards ever thought they were going to live this long. And they're out there running around. And I got to be honest, I mean, it's great. They rock and everything. They actually sound still pretty good, the Stones. But some of these bands really need to hang it up. Like they're bad.
Well,
They're just fat and slow. The voices are shot. A lot of them don't even play their instruments anymore. They just freaking are playing to tape, to audio tape
right.
that's running, and they're out there just and Milli Vanilli, got their Grammys taken away. But there's people out there, that's all they do. And then on the pop side of things too, man. In pop, that's all they do. They lip sync constantly.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
every time you see them, like live, I get this. Like, I don't know about the Super Bowl. Like, they're, sometimes I'm always looking though. Every time I see them live in a stadium or something, I'm kind of looking around to see if they're actually singing or not.
It's harder to get away with in a stadium just because of the way sound travels and stuff. But in theaters, small theaters, and average sized places, arenas and stuff, it's you can tell they're freaking. A lot of times they do. They sing to tracks and even play music to tracks. So they need to. Some of these bands need to hang it up.
Yeah, well, I agree, but here's the deal: Guns N' Roses was awesome, and he doesn't. He has a rough, like it's rough. It is. It's tough listening to him, but
people get old,
give
man.
The guy respect. He's the only, like the only band member that actually stayed in that band. From the beginning to the end.
Right. That's his freaking meal ticket, dude.
And listen to this: we actually have someone commenting already. We have someone on right now, since we are live on YouTube. Right now, we have someone named Sue, but we need some new good rock bands, and I agree with that. Don't you think?
100%. Yep.
I
totally agree. The last really good. I mean, as far as good, real deal rock bands. Okay, I have an expression for it. I call it big dick rock, but and it goes back to like the David Lee Roth, Van Halen days and stuff. But the last real deal rock band is I think it's the Foo Fighters right now. They're a great rock band. Play great music, play real rock and roll, play their own instruments. But I mean, there's not too many bands coming out right now that are really carrying the
Rock and
torch.
roll.
Yeah. And then that's what it is. There's just not a lot of youngsters coming out carrying the torch, and so I'm waiting. I'm crossing my fingers and hopeful, but
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know.
think of the band that opened up for Guns N' Roses. I should know this. Gosh,
Right.
I loved them. They had some really catchy songs, but I think they've been around a while too.
Okay. I saw
Damn
a
it, I should
band
know
of
that.
youngsters recently back in July called The Alive. It's a three-piece band. They're a three-piece band, and they get out and tour, and they open in front of. I think they play in front of the Foo Fighters, or at least in front of Chevy Metal, which is the Foo Fighters side thing. But they're really good, and they're youngsters. They're like early 20s, and they're bringing it. So they're a band to keep an eye out for. Is The Alive, but should rock and roll
No,
make
no. I mean, here's the deal. What do you think about Blink 182? Because they're probably one of my favorite bands these days, and it does
right,
originate back because when I first moved
right,
out here from
right,
Boston and
yeah,
landed in San Diego and met awesome people like you, I
right.
literally fell in love with Blink 182 because they were just big around the area
Yeah,
then.
yeah, they were that's where they came out of, is Orange County, and they're a cool band. They were like, and it's in almost in reference to this well-timed question: should rock and roll make a comeback? If it can make a comeback, I say yeah, and I think it happens because Blink 182 is a really good example of that. In the late 70s, coming into the 80s, there was this power pop era of punk. Elvis Costello, Joe Jackson, and but still real deal musicians actually playing their instruments. Thank you very much. And that's always the deal. That's the deal breaker for me. They have to be real musicians that have to be playing their instruments. But Blink 182 kind of resurrected that snot nosed punk kid power pop sound, and it's really catchy. It's easy to get into. It's easy to sing along to, and it's great stuff. I have to agree. I was a big Green Day appreciator back then.
Oh,
Those
love Green
kids,
Day.
those guys were fantastic. And I remember when they were youngsters and they just came out, they were bringing back that power pop punk, and playing super catchy songs with "fuck you" lyrics, and that's what made them great. They're like total little punky. They're punk. And so if rock and roll can do it, I would say, yeah, let rock and roll come back. I think there's always an audience for it. And I know for sure there's a young audience for it. I run into youngsters all the time that are running around in Led Zeppelin t-shirts and Pink Floyd t-shirts and the Who t-shirts. And so they're out there. They just
Yeah,
need,
I think because people like me, my
yeah,
generation, they have kids now that are in high
mhm,
school,
yeah,
and they're taking them to all these bands that
yeah,
like Def
yeah,
Leppard and
right. And
Poison
they
and
need their
Motley
own bands.
Crue.
They need their own bands. They don't need our bands.
Sue
Our bands,
agrees.
I mean,
Sue, our
yeah,
person
need their own
chatting with
bands
us
to go
right
see
now says,
live.
yeah,
Our bands
Foo
are just a
Fighters.
bunch of old dudes. Our bands are a bunch
We,
of old guys. They need their own bands that they can go follow and have a good time with that aren't old farts. That's what I think. Um,
yeah,
no,
no,
nothing
I
against
agree.
our guys. It's just we're old. We're that other generation. They need their own sound and
All
their
right,
own
just
music.
let's ask Mr. Predicto. That's it. The last thing is Mr. Predicto. I'm going to ask you right now: should rock and roll make a comeback?
Oh, the answer would be yes.
Oh,
Outstanding.
thank you,
Outstanding.
doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Golf
Thank
clap.
you.
Golf
Oh,
clap. Golf clap.
good job. Now,
Excellent.
it is a little bit of show and tell. What'd you bring today? I told you to bring something and
All
tell
right.
me all about it.
Do you want to go first or me?
Well, you go first.
Okay. I brought this little bitty
Oh,
trophy.
wow. Now, wait a
Okay.
minute. Is this like an Eagle Scout trophy or what is it?
No, what it is oh, look, it's because I can't be detected here. Okay. There it
Wow.
is. So I'll tell you what it reads. It reads uh Hawthorne Packers 1969 J.A. Altieri. So my dad was a Pop Warner football coach, a really, really good one. He was coaching kids from as young as 8, and then he came all the way up through and he coached in high school and even I think a little college level stuff. But anyway, he was a football coach of this Pop Warner football team, and I was in 1969. I was 5, so I wasn't old enough to play on the team yet. But my parents made me and my brother Michael, who's a year younger than me, made us mascots for the football team. And so we just had little outfits with the Packers logo on the front. And we'd be down on the sidelines while the cheerleaders were cheering for the Pop Warner kids playing on the field. And at the end of the season, everybody gets a trophy. and they had bigger trophies. Theirs were pretty good size. But the little mascots, we got these, and I'm still figuring this camera thing out.
Getting lost in the universe. There must be all that space junk out there.
It is, man. It's the vacuum of space. But this is what I got, and it came from my father. And
that's awesome. So it's a sentimental. Wow, for this first show and tell, you brought something really sentimental. Now I feel like
trust me, it's all downhill from here, dude. I promise you. That's as sweet as the point is it's going to get with me. I promise it's all downhill from here.
I feel very glib and very vague right now about my thing that I brought. Damn it. Okay. Well, God damn, you had to show up like this, with this brilliance. Okay. Well, I mean, I brought this is what you see here is a Boston Bruins, because I'm a Boston Bruins fan. That's my hockey team.
Right.
My second team would be the LA Kings, as you know. We're both diehard Kings fans too.
Yes.
But this is my first team, and this is just a putter. It's all it is a putter, and it's not as cool as the one they have like in Happy Gilmore. That's what I really want.
But that's a hockey stick putter. And do you use it when you play golf?
I do. I bring it when I have an easy putt. It sits in my bag. When I have just a little tap in, I usually tap it in with this because it's always nice to tap it in. Tap it in.
That's great. Taparoo. Tap, tap, tap.
There you go. So that's it. Nothing too crazy. Just wanted to show my stick. I love it, man. I had to buy it.
Freaking cool. That's really cool. So hey, all right. So here's the deal. Let's get back to Heathen real fast.
Well, I looked it up. Here's the deal.
All right.
Heathen. Jesus Christ. Is this really freaking you? Hold on. A person who does not belong to a widely held religion, especially one who is not a Christian, Jew, or Muslim, as regarded by those who do. My brother and I were raised, as my grandma puts it, as heathens.
Okay. I would have to say that I am 123% heathen. And then if that's the description, then that is me. That is absolutely me, because I'm not.
I just had to blow you up. You're a heathen. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Well, yeah, I was like, what happened? So, yeah, man, I don't belong to any of those religions. And I don't belong to any religion at all. I don't believe in religion. And it's not that I don't believe in God, but I don't believe like an old man in the sky who gives a shit about anybody. Okay, that's just me. And that's just based upon my own life experience and my own spiritual quest, that whole thing. But I'm not saying that there's not, in fact, I'm absolutely 100% positive, 123% positive that there is something greater than all of us. Okay. I believe it's more of a universal thing. I believe that we all come from the same thing, call it life, energy, love, whatever you want. We all come from the same thing. We all go back to the
aliens. Aliens? You think we come from aliens? Are we hybrid?
Oh, they were definitely involved in this whole process, but I'm talking about the spiritual side, the soul side. And I also feel like
you think our bodies.
Wait, this is important. Part of my belief thing is that I believe like we're humans, okay? Like you said, we're just monkeys that got fucked by aliens. That's basically it, okay? So we're not as smart as we think we are, okay? And so I don't think with my tiny little fucking human brain, I can even conceptualize who or what God might be. Okay.
No, your brain needs an upgrade.
Can't even calculate it exactly. So I just don't assume to know. I don't know. I don't know what's out there. But I definitely don't believe in an old man in the sky, and I'm definitely not a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Jew. I'm none of that.
You believe that your body dies, okay, and your soul floats over or gets stuck into like a new baby or a new like.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, but I believe it's along the lines of that somewhere. I think that we go.
So what happens if your incredible soul, like the next go around, is like a plant or like a dog or like a cat or like a squirrel or like a worm or something? Do you believe that, or do you think like since your soul goes from human to human? That's what I want to know.
I think once we made it to this level of human, I think we just keep going as humans, and I think we got to keep coming back and making mistakes and living different experiences until we get to
our soul gets a second chance.
Yeah. What's that? Oh yeah. No, I think it's more of a learning process. I think it's more of a thing where they keep sending you back. to just learn more about yourself spiritually, become a better person, a better soul.
So there's a chance for me, I think.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's why they call people old souls. Like they've been here before. You know, it's like they just.
I've been here. I definitely have been here before.
Oh yeah. I absolutely. I've even one time had a lady do a past life reading on me, not on purpose. She's one of my friend's moms. She's an amazing lady, and she's a Reiki master. She does Reiki. It's a spiritual thing, energy stuff that they do, and she's at this point now she's.
I know what Reiki is.
She's like a 40-year Reiki master. Okay, at this point, but back then I went to her son's wedding on the East Coast, and she was there for the wedding, and she did a Reiki treatment on me, and we just sat out on this front porch, and then I just sat and kind of meditated, and it was really, really cool. And at the end of it, she said that she saw one of my past lives. Hey, can we quiet down, please? Sorry.
You got dogs in the universe
too.
The
dogs are gonna. I got the dogs with me. They protect me. So she did this. She said she saw a past life that I had, and it was back in the time of Christ, is what she said. And not that it was that time, not that it was actually Christ. I wasn't walking around with Jesus, but it was back in that period. And I was the oldest of a bunch of siblings. Like I had brothers and sisters, and my father had a stroke and my mother died, or my mother had a stroke and my father died, and I was the oldest and I had to take care of the family. So this is horrible. I was using my sisters as prostitutes to make money for the family. Okay. Wow. And when I heard this, I kind of freaked out. I was like, really, really messed with my head. Like, wow, no, like that was bad. But then I was talking with a good friend of mine. His name is Kosh, and Kosh is from Iran. And he said, I told him this story and told him how bad it made me feel. And he said, don't. He goes, back then, that's what they did. That's what they did. He goes, if there were women in the family, as horrible as it sounds, they would, if they had to, in order to make money to provide for the families and make them survive, the females would work as prostitutes. And so that made me feel a little better, but yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that story. It was a very touching story about your past life.
Fucking brutal.
That was a past life, and I mean, I wasn't going to go back that far. I mean, I personally think that I was probably a professional skier, maybe. Okay. I was probably an Olympic skier. I don't know which one.
Okay. Why do you feel that way? Why do you think that?
Oh, because every time I get on the slopes, it doesn't matter if I haven't skied in freaking 16 years. I get out there and I'm like freaking really good at it.
Right,
certain things like that in my life that I noticed, whether it's a simple task like using a hammer, or I don't know what it is.
I've heard about people.
Maybe I was a carpenter. I might have been a carpenter. I might be Jesus, for Christ's sake. I don't know.
It's a lot of responsibility, bro. It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Well.
So
So you got dogs. What else? Do you have anything else out there? Like it sounds like. What?
No, the dogs are yipping. There's actually a conversation going on.
Well, look. Now you're in. Hey, you know what I want you to do?
What?
Could you let me try something. What's that song? I wish I knew that song you hated, and then I would play it. But hold on. So we could have campfire chats too. We could actually sit here by the campfire and have a campfire chat and talk about stuff. I love talking about stuff. So we're gonna have to say before we end this episode, we're gonna have to say that you're a heathen. Like you're self-proclaimed heathen.
We've established that.
I don't know personally. I think you are. I know you a little better than that. That's why we're here, Rocco and Primo.
Okay.
Like an elder brother. I'm not saying that you're not even that much older than me, but like what I'm saying is, I don't know if you're an absolute heathen. I mean,
I appreciate that vote. That's great, man. I'll take
something about heathen is very brings negative connotation.
You're right. There's a negative connotation to it, and I appreciate you looking out for me there. I do.
I think you're a total heathen. I don't know.
I'm just going by definition. I'm just going by the word for word definition that you read. I was like, oh shit, that's me. That's me.
Well, yeah. And like I've said earlier, I'm probably just too surface. I'm too vague, glib, whatever you want to say. I just think
Right.
that a heathen is like got a big fat lipper in. He doesn't shave. He's all like scruffy and stuff. And he's just got his like he's touching his balls as we're talking. He's got like a drool coming out.
You
There's
see
like
my hands.
McDonald's and
See
shit
my
fucking
hands.
sitting here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I don't know. I just think of maybe that's a scumbag.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A little farther down on the list, but
You're not a scumbag. You're a very well-spoken individual. Okay.
Thank you, man. I thank you, and I too enjoy talking about stuff, and I look forward to talking about more stuff with you in the future.
Yeah, let's talk about more stuff real soon, like maybe tomorrow.
That's great. I'm in.
Or the next day.
Good time.
And I'm glad that everyone's tuning in right now because we have a show right now. You're checking us out on YouTube. This is our YouTube channel, but you can also find us on all your favorite platforms. We are on Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on where else are we at? Primo.
I have no. I don't do that stuff. I just like show up and talk.
All right, we're everywhere, guys. Follow us. All right.
We're
Follow
all throughout the universe.
Hey, yes, around the universe. Tell us, what do you want people to listen to, like while they're driving in their cars? Like, what does this mean to you? This show that we're doing right now, this talk about stuff. Do you want people to get fired up, or you just want people to like expand their mind?
Here's the thing, man. I remember one time I saw Bill Hicks, who's a phenomenal comedian who's passed away, rest in peace. Who one time said something. I'm not here to make you. He's a comedian, but he said, "I'm not here to make you laugh. I'm here to make you think." And I think that's kind of what this is about. We're gonna have good times, good conversations about cool topics, whatever. Might get a little, energetic or whatever you want to call it, passionate. But it's just to get people to think, consider other stuff. I think sometimes we get stuck in our way of thinking, and hearing other stuff is beneficial for all of us. So
I agree. I'm gonna leave it at that. You are in some undisclosed location. I never even know where you are. I don't know. Sometimes his phone is shut off. Sometimes he disappears for like a week. He's been begging me to do this show. I didn't even want to do this friggin' show, to be honest with you. I didn't want to be here, but I'm here. And I'm not going anywhere, right? I'm here for the people.
For the people. Give the people what they want. Give the people what they want.
Primo, I'm here for you too, buddy. Thanks for being here.
Back at you, Rocco. Love you, buddy.
See you, buddy. Talk to you later. Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We have our person on there saying, hey.
See you next time.
Maybe that person's a heathen.
Yeah. I converted him. Good night.